Hello YouTube, Runa here. If you watched my last video, you know we'll be talking about spell work and things of that nature in these next couple videos. I've decided I'm going to split this up a little bit because your girl talks. And I feel like these things could be easier digested in different videos. So, first off, I figured we would need to touch on ritual versus spell. They are different, and they're different, and they're also the same. Depends on how you practice and what you do when you're doing things, how you feel comfortable, and things of that nature. Remember, don't let anybody tell you how your practice has to go. If you want to go a whole 9 yards every time you want to cast a spell, do that. If that's what works for you. But don't stress yourself out doing it. If you feel more practical in doing your magic, like, say, like in a hoodoo setting, like every little thing in folk magic kind of flows together, and you're not sitting down and doing ritual every day or every time, don't fret over that. That's perfectly fine. Or you have specific times where you do both. That's up to you. So let's talk about what exactly is like spell work and things. And that's basic, super basic stuff. So a spell is manifesting one's will with the energy around you, inside you, and that which is in the universe to basically put your request out there and get what you want. You're aligning your current field of existence here with that future thing that you want to bring to you. So you're moving the tides of fate and reality and all that fancy stuff to bring to you what you want now. And a lot of this is done on the mental level, the subconscious level, definitely, and then the energetic level. So it's inside and it's outside. Now, there are millions of different ways to cast spells. The trick is in the mind and being able to direct the energy to put your mind to that energy and make it happen. And as well, your own, I've heard some people call it inspired action. Because just because you just did a spell, or you burned a candle for something, or you did something else, it doesn't mean it's just going to magically fall into your lap without action. I mean, sometimes it does. Okay. I've had that happen. Sometimes the universe is like, hey, here you go, and throws you a bone. Or it's able to come in and seat itself in your life already. You're open to it and you can receive it. But other times you have to work toward that and open the avenue to receive. So that is the basics of what a spell or what magic is in terms of manifestation. So there are many ways to do these things. Lots and lots and lots of ways. I mean, there's candle magic, there's puppet magic, mojo bags. There's so many. I mean, there's elemental magic, blood magic, demonic magic, angelic magic. That gets into spell work and along with spirit work, but doesn't have to be with spirit work and stuff. So that's an option. It's an option. Go ahead if you like that and you're prepared to do that and you're educated and you've taken the necessary precautions to do that. But that's a different video. Different topic. I've talked about the spirit work plenty of times and will continue to do so, but this is not that particular video. So, rituals and spell work. So what is a ritual? In my definition of a ritual, the way I see it, and the way I've seen it said and things, is a ritual is, something done with a specific intention. It could be anything, it could be simple, but for me, ritual, and for many people who practice magic, that is a very ceremonial, sort of a special thing. When you get fully into a ritual state, you set time aside for this specific thing that you're doing, whether that be devotion to a deity or many deities, the act of any kind of spiritual and ascent-based transformation. Maybe it's for a holiday or a Sabbath, full moon, a new moon, some sort of a planetary event. Maybe it's your deity's summoning day or high day. That goes with devotion and things of that nature. Whatever your tradition enacts. Think of church, if you used to be Christian, or any of the others that go to church, temple, mosque, whatever. They are technically rituals. And when you're at a church, you're at Mass, that you are sitting in, observing and participating in the background of a ritual, while the rest of the clergy is performing the ceremony. And if you look at ceremonial magic, you will see the same sorts of elements, not the same, but similar elements having taken place as you would, say, a Catholic Mass. I used to be Catholic, so that's fun. That's a lot of fun. Well, as you can see, and if you can tell what that sigil is on my neck, I'm not Catholic anymore. So, yeah. But anyway, you can see those types of things. That is a ritual itself. It is a time set aside for an act of devotion, putting forth of a certain will, things of that nature. And, you could get into the debate that, if you want to find a place that has a ton of witchcraft in it, you go to church. It's the truth, but they're really shitty at it. I'm going to say that now. It's a little side story there. There is a little, I guess you could call it a spell. It's a little thing that the Catholics do. It has to do with, there's 2 crossed candles. And it's done a long, long time ago. I can't really fully remember. I mean, I haven't been a Catholic in 12 years, 13 years, something like that. But you put it up to your throat. It's like crossed over your throat like that. And the priest blesses your throat for the health of your throat and your voice and tonsils and everything else. Well, I had that done a couple times. I think at least 2 or 3 times over the course of my life. And guess who ended up having to have their tonsils out over copious amounts of throat infections? Thanks, Jesus. That was hell. God. So, you'll find shit like that, but it's terrible. God. Anyway, so... But this is not me ranting about Christianity and Catholicism here. I just had to throw that little tidbit out there. But, so, because it's a valid example. And stuff like that for anyone who is trying to decipher the difference, at least from one witch's standpoint. So, where's the overlap? Now, you can do spells within a ritual. Something I do. I like doing that, especially if I'm working with a spirit or multiple spirits while doing that, whether they're witnessing or actually having their hands in it, or I am doing certain spells on Sabbats, during full moon rituals, during whatever sort of special thing that happens is. So, you can definitely do that. And you'll have the same elements of your spell to perform during that ritual. And in that case, say if you are going with your own sort of a ritual setting, then you would then tailor that ritual and fit in your spell where it fits best, essentially. You put it there in that sequence of steps where it fits best. And ideally, you would want to tailor the ritual and the spell to intertwine, so it really makes sense where you're doing it there. That's how it works for me, because I don't want to do something that's going to be weird and not make much sense or not have anything to do with the ritual that I'm performing. So you want to make sense. You want it to make sense there. You want to make sense. Yeah, you do want to make sense too, but I can talk. I'm sorry. But you want to make sure that everything flows nicely there. Now, don't want to stress over it. I want to keep saying that. The less stress that you have surrounding these things, the better your success rate. Because you don't want to panic and you don't want to fret over little things. But I find that, excuse me, I got a little hair. Anyway, and I got miles of it, and then it gets in your lipstick, and it just gets annoying. But anyway, I find that doing spells in a ritual setting helps to feel out that trance state. It helps to get you into that good mindset that you need to be in when you're actually wanting to focus and manifest something. And then you also should have spiritual force surrounding you more so than just, say, if you're into circle casting while you do spell work. You can do a circle without doing all the trimmings, or put a protective shield over your whole area or something, and make a little declaration that nothing can bother your spell work and everything else, without it being a fancy ritual. But otherwise, you can, make this as, complex as you like. It's really up to you, and you don't have to feel obligated to do it any which way. And I would recommend, if you're a beginner or trying to take your spell work and ritual practice to other levels and find your niche with everything, then experiment a little bit. See what you can figure out and works best for you, because that will ultimately give you the best results. Don't do things just because people tell you to do them a certain way. Be smart. Don't be stupid about it. I will say that. Don't do things recklessly. This is not me telling you to go and throw all the caution and protection and good measures that we do teach and we talk about in this whole occult world to the wind. You don't want to just toss that all into the fire now. Don't be a dumbass. This is not me telling you to be a dumbass, so don't cry to me if something happens and you were dumb about it. I mean, I can give you advice if you screwed something up. I'm not going to be an asshole about it, but if you know cautions and precautions and stuff, don't be careful, please. Be smart. Use your common sense. But if something doesn't make sense to you, or if something just doesn't feel right, or you leave something out or something else, don't worry about it. So, yeah, I think that's about everything for this particular video. Yeah, I think that's about everything that I wanted to talk about with this. So I hope I explained this well enough, and if there's any questions, let me know. I said this is a very beginner kind of a video, or just someone wanting a perspective on it if you're trying to help yourself to find yourself or whatever else in how you want to practice comfortably. So, ideas here and there. Yeah. So, final thoughts. Don't feel bad if you use other people's rituals. Don't be afraid to write your own. Don't be afraid to make changes. Don't be afraid in general. Don't be a dumbass. And practice however you see fit, as formal or as informal and practical as you like. So, yeah. Make it yours, people. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Blessings.